and that is a story in itself, right? I mean, that's why I'm saying there's so many storylines here, but we are going to be jumping into the draft here for game number 1.
Yeah. One thing I want to add quickly to this, why bring in KelVJ? Why bring in Miko in this star-studded matchup? It's the test under fire from the coach. I'm going to put my coaching hat here, wherein I'm pretty sure Coach Macbeth is thinking along the lines of, you guys really want that spot, right? Miko, you want to replace the Mamba from time to time. KelVJ, you think you're really ready on this new position to take over E2max? All right, let's throw you up against Blacklist International. How well are you going to perform? That is the main question now for these two members of Omega.
Not just, that's an internal thing. Externally, I'm guessing the main 5 of Omega, the one that went to MSC, a 5-game brawl bout against RSG, the eventual champions, they might want to show us something new. Show Blacklist something new.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sir,
Speaking of which, here comes the draft. Blacklist on the play. Omega swinging back, and it's Macbeth who says, we're going to have to go for a fair fight. No Beatrix, Bonchan. Your move.
I think that's a good choice, right? Again, and we noticed too, right? Blacklist International is going to take out the Wanwan here, who we've seen pretty much a very standard matchup, Wanwan versus Beatrix. So that is going to force both gold laners into something maybe not so standard, right? There's still a lot of choices here, but also just because of these first bans here, it leaves a lot of those priority heroes that we're used to seeing available. I'm talking about Julian, Thamus, Akai, right? There's the Masha ban right here. Red side going to take out the Valentina.
I love that Blacklist International banned the Masha, showing respect to Renjo's performance. And not just to Renjo. Omega looked like they were ready to play with the Masha. I mentioned earlier in the keys to victory how well Omega split the lane when they were playing with their Masha. Masha would be in one lane, the rest of Omega would be breaking towers elsewhere. Blacklist said, we respect that, we don't want to face that. Now for the first pick, with Valentine and Faramis gone, you still have the Toms, you still have the Esmes, even if Blacklist want to go that route, but Julian is still open. But right away, Blacklist already going for the claw. They don't want to give that to Kilra.
Throwing no caution to the wind. Blacklist says, this is the hill we will battle, fight you, and die on if we have to. This is where the battle for the Filipino savage/sniper fight starts. We pick up the Claude. I could have sworn I was going to see a ban at least in the first phase. Could have sworn, alongside the Fanny, the Wanwan, and the Beatrix. But how does Omega swing back?
I mean, we're going to find out.
Do they pick up a marksman too?
Yeah, I feel like you could, right? I mean, that's, again, already a highlight of this match was that gold lane matchups here. And, you know, with the Wanwan, with the Beatrix being taken out, do you want to take something in here? And it's going to be the first 2 picks are actually going to be the Esmeralda and the Julian.
Yeah, Omega play it safe. They go for highly sought after picks. The Julian is flex, but with the Esmeralda there, the only place that Julian could go is actually the mid lane or potentially the jungle. Now for the spawn of Blacklist International. They're known for picking up things like the Baksha. Wise already showed that. That will help with the healing that Omega has. But Blacklist still have a lot of options that they could go for here. Usually you wouldn't want to pick up the Eve up against a Julian and an Esmeralda. Way too difficult to handle. But we saw yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that was NXP E versus Blacklist, that there are some Eves who can handle that pressure. Imagine the slows, imagine the damage that comes out, and if it's paired up with the Toms, it'd be really, really good. But that doesn't sound like an Eve. That sounds like a hoot hoot. Here comes Diggy into the play, and you get a great amount of control, a great amount of control avoidance with that pick.
I love it. This is Blacklist and Omega going tit for tat, despite Omega fielding a different lineup. And here's the thing. Here's my question, all right? And here's my gambit. Let me put this out there. It's safe to say that given Oheb has a world championship under his belt, the argument is already lopsided to start. So let me present to you an argument for Kelra, all right? He's known to play a little bit more of the exotic gold lane pickups.
He talking about those mages?
He plays, well, no, well, yes, but Oheb does have a Harith and an Alice in him too. I'm talking about the Paquitos. I'm talking about the Aldos, the Esmeraldas. He played that in Season 9. A side lane Esmeralda in the gold lane. So who's to say this might not be
Your team is banning.
That means their jungler has to be something that scales really well into the late game. I mean, Julian does deal a lot of damage. If that's going to be the case, then you're going to be seeing Kelra playing more of a reserved role in the sense that he's just there to sustain the lane alongside Renjo on the XP lane. And then we're going to be seeing actually Ryzen, who's going to be playing more of the carry type. But with the Baksha on the field already, I think this is looking really more of like an Esmeralda XP lane.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, we're gonna see the Baksha most likely, obviously, in the jungle here, and also too, my question is the Thamus, right? Because that can still go in that XP lane. It can also be in the jungle here, so that would be a very good matchup if it is going to be jungle Thamus versus jungle Baksha. Both obviously rolling with the jungle emblem, the Demon Slayer, right? Because this is going to be a very, I feel like, once again, objective-based game. You already have that Diggy there to kind of give you that advantage. Now, there is still 2 picks, right, for both teams here, but already with what we're seeing, again, there's a lot of CC on Omega that is going to have potentially be negated already with the time journey.
That's one way to go about it. You can overload the times journey.
Yeah. That'll be really great to have for Blacklist International. So now we're seeing them comfortably taking away the marksman. Omega banned out the Eve. They know it pairs really well with the lineup Blacklist had. Blacklist most likely probably going to ban the Clint. If they ban out the carry, then that's a lot of questions. That means Blacklist are going to be going for a lot of sustain and really just think about, let's make sure Oheb rather has his farm. It's not going to be a tanky ban, it's going to be a Selena ban. Good respect there. You wouldn't, Selena's one of those heroes that can really just negate what a Diggy can bring to the table. A part of me is now thinking though, Omega might actually play this Julian in the mid lane because KLVJ is a historically an assassin user type. We see Julians in the mid lane and assassin thinking, maybe it might actually work out for him, but I might have to eat my own words because a Mathilda was picked up right away because I think Blacklist, Omega, I think in Blacklist International still might go for a mage similar to a savior and want to disrupt that formation as well as possible.
I'm liking it though. This just shows that even if KLVJ and Nico come in, Omega, in the leadership of Coach Bakbet, knows Blacklist so well that they don't even have to play Hack of Venus. Look at this. The answer back. Blacklist gets the Lunox and the Akai. So this kind of confirms where heroes are going.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I really want to see what the last picks here for Omega are going to be, but already Blacklist International very well-rounded, right? You have good damage in the magic department and physical, and here we go, a Ling coming out to play.
I know Dwayne, I know the Savage, bro.
Oh man, wait, it didn't switch. Is he going to be playing jungle? Is Keller going to be playing jungle?
A lot of questions here.
Yeah, maybe they switched up, like, we just didn't see that.
The Omega camp may be pulling a rope-a-dope on us, a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
The word of the day.
Gave us a PR move and saying, KLVJ, the king is back, he's playing mid. But actually, there's a switch up.
If that happens, I'm going to lose my mind. They played us all.
You gonna make you lose your mind.
Up in here, up in here.
I'll join in on that one.
Good thing. For once, we finally know the same song. All right, we're getting a sneak peek. No, it's a Rise and Jump.
It's a rope-a-dope. It's what I said. It's initially what I thought.
Ooh.
Okay, okay.
That's hot.
I mean, if you want to bring that out, go for it. But that's the thing. There's still the dynamic possibility in the future that they could play around with that, right?
One more look at the lineup, folks. Here in the MPL studio, you could cut the energy with a knife. Hopefully, at home as well. You guys are losing it up in here, up in here. Game number 1 between Blacklist International and Smart Omega is upon us. KLVJ, the king, the queen, oh my Venus in mid. Don't blink.
Oh, it's the king versus the queen, and yes, it's the KLVJ mid. He picked up Mystery Shop. Of course, they want this Julian to scale up as fast as possible. With the Diggy around, though, Blacklist International are going to make that difficult for KLVJ.
Man, and you know, right now, too, the thing is, we've seen a couple different iterations of this Diggy pick right now, and I gotta say, I did like it when it was placed in that mid lane with I believe it was the Last Worship emblem that was played with at full damage. But now, again, we're going to see how this is utilized against that lineup that Omega has, because they've got a lot of damage, but also they're going to be relying on KLVJ, right? The king with those setups, as we've seen from the Julian so far up to this point, those enhanced chain setups.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Leo, you mentioned it. It's the gold lane Esmeralda. This means the idea is that the damage, that the gold will be sort of quote-unquote funneled into the mid lane and the jungle. It's KLVJ, it's Ryzen, who Omega will look to deal the damage and carry the team in the mid to the late game.
It just shows how much the young Dwayne Pilas, Kelra, has grown. He doesn't mind. He knows that there is a dynamic to this lineup, and down bottom.
Oh, Edward's gonna be in trouble. Tempest Blades comes out, pops the Vengeance. He's still alive, and finally he gets taken out. First blood here in the hands of Ryzen for Smart Omega.
It's a best of 3. It's the first blood in game 1, and the crowd made it sound like the team just won a championship. I'm loving the energy, but oh my Venus!
Oh my Venus, gonna take quite a bit of damage. The return though, Wise there to back him up. And he backs Kill VJ out of the bad waters, but the turtle is now spawning, and it's gonna be for the taking here in good position.
Yep, that's a clear priority for Blacklist. Wise and Edward gonna make short work of it. Clearly given up, unless Ryzen has something.
Ryzen's gonna get pinned down here by the heavy spin. He still got it as he falls himself, but the turtle's gonna be secured.
Dean Sumagi, you monster.
He found a gap, a small gap between getting stunned to secure that turtle, and Omega secured another kill onto Oh My Venus. This is still a close game though, it's still early on. Let's see what Blacklist will do to come back.
The MSC 2021 champions and the M3 World Champions showing us exactly what marquee mlbb esports looks like. 3 minutes in, here's the item check. Are you not entertained?
Oh, I'm very entertained right now. We're seeing typical pickup there for Wise and of course for Renjo with the Molten Essences. No main items just yet. Ryzen, of course, going to be rushing that Wind Talker. Oheb for Blacklist is what we have to look at here alongside Haji, because they will be the ones who will be carrying Blacklist into the mid to the late game. But we've seen some Lunoxas struggle so far, but right now Haji has 1 kill. Good news for the Blacklist agents.
I'm so confused. We've hyped this match to be the Sniper versus the Savage, and that lane has been mum.
Yeah.
Nothing has been happening. And for Kelra, it's all about the funnel, but for Oheb, KL1 here, he's number 1. He needs to farm up. He's the one that they're relying on, but down bottom.
Down the focus once again. Edward popping the Vengeance. Wise not going to be able to get there in time, as another kill is secured here for Smart Omega. Ryzen sitting comfortably on those 2 kills early on here. And like you were mentioning, Leo, right? We had so much focus on that gold lane matchup, but this game is a different story here. And already, it's a different story in terms of pacing, as the mid lane is going to be the focus. Ryzen forcing that brilliance, going to be out here. Nice pickup here once again, forcing a resource out of Blacklist.
A brilliant dodge there by Haji to make sure that he doesn't give up another kill to Omega. Great call there. Omega are continuing the pace that they played at against RSG. They are playing fast. They have the tools for the late game. But Blacklist, though, aren't giving up so much. But let's see if they can get this next turtle. Wise is going to be looking for Ryzen. Blacklist are going to look to burst down the jungler of Omega.
Yeah, Kelra's doing a huge, cut there. Again, it's going to be the juggle for the turtle. Renzio's going to spawn out Edward here. They're still going to be careful on how they go about this. Turtle's going to be half health here. There you go. The Initiate come out, taking quite a bit of damage. Renzio does fall, but the flicker's coming out. Tempest Blades follows up. They're looking for another kill. Haji is down. Retreating to the safety of the turret. Edward, Kelra goes in, but the kill goes over to Kill VJ. They're happy with 2. They lose 1, but they also gain the turtle.
The KK connection is back. Throw in to the Season 7 Grand Finals and MSC 2021. It's these 2 that have grown under the Smart Omega banner. They're giving Blacklist hell. KL1, though, pushing up top. Is that a worthy trade?
Oh, Omega, that was a gamble, but they got what they wanted. You do not commit your Esmeralda from the gold lane all the way to the bottom lane if you want to get the turtle. If you don't want to get the turtle, they got the turtle. They knew what they were giving up. But again, Omega still needs to be careful of Oheb and that plot. They know what they gave up, but are they ready to deal with it? Is my next big question for Omega.
Yeah, I'm feeling too, with Oheb just kind of having this kind of farm early game, just go on vacation mode. Later on, that is going to be something they'll have to deal with. He's also running that sprint, right? So the sprint, the blazing do it. It's going to cause Omega to disperse a little bit while they deal with that, plus the time journey. So at some point in the game, they are going to have to be a little bit more defensive against that combination alone.
Yeah, interesting choice for first item here for Edward. Actually picked up the corrosion side first, so he's not going for sustainability as most Tom's builds. He's going for the more damage and slow, heavy type of build for a Tom's.
He's putting his money on that vengeance. So
Yeah.
that means Blacklist is going to be playing heavy on their greens. They're going to have to rely on their ults to
Yes.
get this mid-game through into the late game when OHEB is ready. They're playing footsies, folks. Throughout the map, you see false engages. And if you ask me, it's Omega who's going to be coming out on top because they're the ones who can actually commit right now, being about 2,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, the gold lead slowly building here for Smart Omega. Another turtle going to be up here in just about 15 seconds. Meanwhile, the focus on the bottom lane, looking for space around the map here. But look at the top side of the jungle, too, forcing Wise out of the purple buff. And it is going to be secured, I believe, by Smart Omega here. So as the next objective comes up, Smart Omega in a good position.
This is going to be a crucial fight. It will determine how the next 3 to 5 minutes of the game goes.
Yep, Turtle gonna be about half health here. Renzio half health as well, taking quite a bit of damage. There you go, it's gonna be secured by Wise. Looking for the lockdown. Tempest Blade's gonna be committed here. Ryzen's gonna get out of dodge. They don't have to force a fight. They give up a turtle, but still, nice little gold lead.
Yep, baby steps. Step forward for Blacklist. Getting that turtle, again, denying Omega the snowball that is so lethal in the hands of a Ling. I must say, it's been a while since we last saw the young Dean Tsumaki Ryzen here onto a true core jungler.
Yeah, and usually it's the Lynx and it's his signature from the receive, but here comes the rest of Omega.
Renzio looking for a setup here. There's the falling star moon. Takes quite a bit of damage. Blazing duet comes out, but Wise does fall. And now Haji going to be the next focus. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far. The Brilliant's going to be committed too. Smart Omega has to recall, all pretty low.
Omega split the damage way too much along the Blazing Duet, so they overloaded Blacklist's approach.
Oh man, Omega right now. If we look into the items, KLVJ, that is gonna be a painful Julian with the Feather of Heaven and Genius Wand. Over at the side of Blacklist International, Haji still keeping it close. Actually, they're pretty even in terms of the items, so that's very good news for Blacklist International. Again, OHEB and Haji are doing so much here for Blacklist as we enter the mid-game. Edward with the Corrosion Scythe as his first pickup, he now has more power to split push the lane. So Blacklist seems like they're putting a little bit of an insurance plan onto Edward. Hey Ed, if we don't win the fights, if we're struggling with the skirmishes, get us towers.
Did you just say, hey, Ed?
Hey, Ed.
You guys are so close.
I was going to say, that's next level relationship right there.
That's what I call him. I try to be friendly to where it's like, hey Ed, and then it's like, what's real?
I'm sure
He's a nice guy.
Are we adding more to the possible nicknames? Agent Zero, the MVP, Ed.
I'm going to try that later on. Hey, Ed. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to blame you.
Yeah, no, if he looks at you wrongly, I'm sure he's thinking, hey, you're not Reptar.
First Lord coming up in the prime position here for Omega. Despite it being a far cry from the Ling being there, this is them pulling it over to their side.
Yeah, and you can already see, right? Again, in terms of space around the map, it's still pretty even. Both have that tier 1 turret around. Big pickup here, too, for OHEB as they get into this next team fight, because the focus obviously is going to be the Lord here. Ryzen looks like he's going to be recalling back to base as he wants to make his way here. I'm not sure if any team actually wants to commit to this Lord just yet.
Let's see if they will. Ryzen still needs to get his purple buff. Wise won't. Oh, already has his, or his is about to run out. It just did because his is about to spawn. So Mega, their jungler gonna get the purple buff. Will Blacklist go to the purple buff to secure it for Wise and then come back to the Lord? That's why they need this vision. That's why they're positioned this way in the map right now. Ryzen just got his. Wise is taking his time, so it might be a while until we see a full commitment of the Lord.
And I'm loving the respect, the timing, the knowledge these two teams are presenting. That moment you just saw with the multiple juggles on the Lord, the refreshes, the resets, is essentially a full-on martial arts master demonstration of how well they know each other. Yes. They should bow right now.
Yeah, again, we always talk about the background here, the story of both teams, and now Smart Omega going to take a little bit of an advantage here, taking that tier 1 turret in the mid lane, And yeah, this is the best choice, right? Both teams don't have to commit to that Lord just yet, but they could look for another setup here. Kelra goes in with the Falling Star Moon, but Edward's going to be just fine, or Ed, as Renmar puts it. So now, Lord going to be started once again, bobbed and weave back and forth between two teams that desperately want to get space.
Again, I mentioned earlier, if these two teams keep going 50-50, back and forth, doubting themselves, it's Omega who's going to come out on top because, again, they have better rotational speed and they can dive into these more. But look at this, the pullback.
Oh, big mistake. I mean, they get the vengeance out, right, from Renzio, so he's not going to have that. So even if he joins, if he joins that next team fight here, he is going to lack that a little bit. So nice pickup here. Once again, Ryzen also picking up that Malefic Roar, but Haji across the board.
Divine Glaive already. Good thing Renjo has his Athena Shield because he's going to be the one taking most of the damage from that Lunos. The Lord still being positioned around by both teams. This could make or break this match. It's game one. Who will get this Lord?
Ryzen's gonna go ahead and poke them here. Again, Lord still being bobbed and weaved between both teams. No one wants to commit to it just yet. Everybody has every ultimate available. Kill VJ just waiting a little bit for his. And here we go. Renzio goes in the back. Ryzen falls and clashes down on them. Oheb does fall, but the return, heavy spin, but it's a double kill for Ryzen. And now Blacklist International trying to find some space for a moment. Edward popping the vengeance, but it's 5 versus 1 and the triple kill for Ryzen. And now Lord for the taking for Smart Omega.
Mayday, mayday. The moment that Kiel 1 dropped, it was all they wrote for Blacklist. They crumble if their core in Oheb, in that Claude, is not present. Omega, led by the cleaner Ryzen here, taking that triple, plus this Lord.
Oh man, Omega are on a roll here. For Blacklist International, Oheb, they were positioned incredibly well for that Lord fight. You saw how far Oheb was from the action because he knew Renjo would be looking for him. Kelro would be looking for him. Everybody would be looking for him. It was just incredibly unfortunate timing and great execution by Omega that Renjo and Kelro found him at the same time, just when Oheb said, it's my time to join in this fight.
The fact that it was Ed that they picked off last made all the difference. Ed was not in the right spot.
Yeah, and I mean, he was able to go against 1 versus 5 for a while, but still, when your core members are down, what can you do here, right? And this is what we're seeing. Smart Omega, they grab that Lord here. It is a little bit beefed up here. They're going to have to deal with it in the top side.
Oh, wow. Samsung, that value prediction, get in on it. Who will get more gold after this game? Counter. Oh, a big fight in the jungle.
Ryzen was going to focus on Wise, but he pops the heavy spin here on the defense. Still going to be focused on Renzio. Goes in, looking for the slow. Takes quite a bit of damage. Time's Journey's going to be popped out here. Renzio does fall, so they get a big pickup here. Now Blacklist International going to work on that Lord. Should be able to clear it, but they did lose that top turret in the base. Let's see if they can continue on defending.
The showstopper doing his job. He fell after that inhibitor up top went down, but I guess the call was force it, force it, force it. We can take tier 2 in mid, and that'll give us much more space to take this purple buff, and Wise is starving.
Excellent response though for Blacklist. They could have lost way more in that encounter, but they were able to only lose the inhibitor. Yes, I said the inhibitor, but in that situation, that was like the lesser of all evils of what could possibly happen.
Yeah. I mean, right now, they are going to be making a play here in the tier 1 in the mid lane. They want to continue to get space here. Wise popping the heavy spin, but Kelra should be just fine. Look at Ryzen trying to get that vision here. Might be looking for a crash down. Goes right in to all members. Popping the brilliance here for Haji. Ryzen now going to try to commit. Has to pop the Tempest Blades on the defense. They're going to disengage here. Kill VJ with the knockup. Both teams going to heal back up.
The King did not miss a beat. The way he's playing this mid lane Julian is reminiscent of his days in the jungle. It's amazing.
Oh, KLVJ has been hungry for this moment. He's been starving for a way to come back to the MPL, to join in this marquee matchup. He's been practicing the mid lane for 3 or 4 months now, if I'm not mistaken. He's really been working on it. He's been working a lot with Itomax and the rest of Omega to change his game to a whole nother level, and it is showing so far.
And right now, I mean, again, we got 10 seconds till that next Lord's going to be up here. Both teams just getting ready to set up. also immortality being picked up here by Oheb. So if he goes into the same situation as previously, it maybe buys him a little bit more time, right? But still, got to be careful of the setup.
There is 5,000 gold ahead on Omega, so that's what, 2 items on 4 heroes. But then again, positioning has always been on Omega's side. They know exactly how to approach. And now look at this, they split him up though.
Yeah, the split happens. Ryzen now looking for something. He gets
Ooh, the
taken down. Oh my Venus grabbing a kill. Now Renzio falls here. Haji grabs another one. And they're looking for a third as they force the double kill for Haji. Miko circling yield, not going to be enough. Oheb gets knocked up by the king. But Wise and Oh My Venus, his royalty versus royalty. But they're going to zone them out, forcing Kill VJ back. And now going to focus on the Lord.
From one worse to bad to another. But I'm loving where Blacklist is right now. The punish is amazing. They take the Luminous Lord.
Break the code, chance, break out here in the arena as Blacklist International have their best opportunity to get even more control in this game. Potentially step on Omega and say, we're gonna take control of this for the next 4 minutes. Hell, if we have the chance, maybe even end it right here. The Lord is marching in the top. Omega, Blacklist close in the gold.
Mid lane in trouble. All greens are up. Blacklist, they take down the inhibitor.
They're going for it.
It's going to be exposed here. Oheb popping the damage on Renzio. There's the pin down. Can they end the game here? The defense from Smart Omega. They're able to clear the minions, but a killing spree for Haji. Ryzen trying to jump into the battle, but Kelra slow too. Oheb pops the Tempest Blades. Ryzen looking for a kill. Finds Oheb. The flicker comes out. Haji returns. The mega kill. And now it's a clash in the mid lane. The king falls. Haji with the double, and Blacklist International looking to get the wipeout, taking the game here. Game number 1.
Welcome to the marquee matchup of week number 1. Blacklist.